All right, Wayne Alaroot with Bill O'Reilly. Love having him on the show, the king of cable news. And we always discuss the hottest issues. And guess what? With Trump as president, every day is 100 hot issues. So it's an exciting time, as the Chinese would say. May you live in interesting times. Bill, I think it's clear we live in interesting times.
I don't disagree, Wayne. It's almost too interesting at times.
All right, Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, the rat, as Trump calls him. They're both in a lot of trouble. One's found guilty, the other pleaded guilty. Is Donald Trump in trouble? That's the million-dollar question for Bill O'Reilly.
I think he's in a little bit of political trouble. Legal is still undefined, but political trouble, I think so. I think Americans are rightly saying, how much more is there going to be? You know, we need a president, we need a federal government in Washington to solve problems and to look out for the interests of the folks, not every day a new scandal du jour. The Manafort stuff, I don't think that has much impact on President Trump. This was way before they knew each other. It looks to me like Trump will pardon Manafort from what he tweeted today, but that's just speculation. Cohen thinks a little messier. You know, Donald Trump gave an interview shortly before I'm talking to you, Wayne, and he said, look, I didn't know Cohen was paying these women off. You know, that might be true. I don't know. Cohen might be just trying to save his butt by saying stuff and getting a lighter sentence by implicating Donald Trump. I don't know. But the payoffs are only illegal if campaign money was used, campaign funds.
And it wasn't. And it wasn't.
Well, so far it wasn't. So far, the federal government hasn't said there were campaign money. It's kind of vaguely worded indictment against Cohen that he abused the campaign finance system in some way. Cloudy, murky. That's all I can really say right now. It would have to be a direct, hey, Michael Cohen, you take campaign-donated money and pay these two women off. That's what it would have to be for President Trump to be in legal trouble, I believe.
Now, let me give my 2 cents, because generally in these interviews, I like to hear what you have to say, and I don't get too far into it myself. I was the guy who predicted Trump would win the election for the first day, even after the locker room video came out. I said, we're electing a barbarian. We're not electing a pope. We want a guy who's a barbarian who's going to turn the economy around and fight these liberals that are destroying my way of life. I don't think anyone's going to care about this one in the 63 million people who voted for Trump. I think the left cares. I think a few independents care. But I think in general, 63 million people have voted for Trump will yawn at this the same way they yawned at the locker room video, because we know what we're getting. Of course Trump had sex with 1,000 models and actresses. Of course he cheated on his wife. Of course some of them extorted him and he paid them off. This isn't news. I don't think anyone cares as long as the economy, that's the if, as long as the economy keeps doing well and we keep creating high-paying middle-class jobs, Donald Trump's not in any trouble. Just my 2 cents.
I think his base will hold at about 38%. I think some women will bail on Donald Trump. And he needs to basically get over this stuff. And the media and the Democrats are going to try to tie it around his neck until November. Because November is, if you look at the polling, back and forth here. And if this continues every day, the Democrats have a better chance to take back the House. If they do that, they're going to create a lot of chaos, Wayne. The Democrats will create a lot of chaos if they control the House.
All right, well, my gut is they don't control the House. They win seats, but they don't win enough to control, because what matters is Mollie Tibbetts. What matters is illegal immigration. What matters is Trump's key issue, that there's a lot of bad people walking around that shouldn't be in this country because Democrats believe in open borders. So your thoughts on Mollie Tibbetts, what's your take on another tragic killing by an illegal alien?
Well, I think Donald Trump should pivot fast and bring back Kate's Law. You'll remember that I championed that. It was that close to being passed, by the way. And this villain, Harry Reid, the Senate Majority Leader at the time, killed it, passed the House.
From my state.
It's not exactly the same thing, because the illegal alien who allegedly murdered Mollie doesn't seem to have a lot of interaction with the authorities. He was here for like 7 years. Don't think he had a record. At least they're not saying it, and they would put it out if he had. But President Trump could say, look, enough's enough. I want Kate's law. Get it done now while we have the majority in both houses. And that would do a lot to reignite that whole issue and get it away from the scandal du jour. So if the president's listening now, that'd be a good thing for the country to do. It'd be good for you politically, and it'd be good for the country because we need Kate's law. By the way, Kate's law, real quick, is if you are an illegal alien who commits a felony in his country and you're deported and come back, you get a mandatory 10-year jail sentence just for coming back. Now, they'll water it down to 5. I'll take 5. But we need Kate's law.
You and I don't just agree, Bill, 100% on that one. We agree 180% on that one. That is the campaign for this November and for 2020 to make people forget about the fact that Donald Trump, you know, paid off someone for sex 10 years ago. It just doesn't matter. This matters. Illegals in our country matter. You and I are on the same team. There's your Willie Horton for 2018 and 2020. Bill O'Reilly, great to be with you again. Love talking to you. Love hearing what you think. Brilliant man. And the king of cable news for 13 straight years. Proud to have him on my show. Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. We appreciate it. Everybody go to BillO'Reilly.com for the latest.